Good morning. This is video log entry 39, and currently it is 9:30 a.m. CST. And did the same old stuff today. Got my coffee. I applied to a couple of places, more grocery store and park stuff, and I looked at universities as well. But I don't know, man. University websites are actually not that great, so I had trouble with it. And like the search mechanism that they had was really crappy, and I couldn't even find anything. It actually just wasn't working. So I may have to call them and report that the IT department about that. So I couldn't apply to some of those positions. That seemed interesting. Yeah. What did I do yesterday again? I don't know. Anyways, I kind of was hanging around in my apartment and just kind of sat around and did the normal stuff, and I felt pretty good. Happier than usual. I felt light. I felt like I belong here, like I'm actually meant to be here. Like everything that's been happening recently has been happening for a reason. That's what it felt like, at least. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah. That voice kept echoing in my head and saying that you're meant to be here and things are going to change pretty soon. So I don't know if that's my intuition talking to me or just what I'm feeling at the moment due to my joy. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to put my head in front of it. So I'm just gonna let it be. So I felt pretty good. Woke up feeling pretty good as well. I had some eggs as well, and did the standard stuff like I said, applications. I'm a little bit tired though. It's because I'm thinking all the time. Like I was just thinking. I think too much. I guess yesterday I was writing notes on like how to focus more because that's always been an issue of mine, and people start talking about like the Pomodoro technique, and I may actually start implementing that. I realize that I've been keeping track of my focus, at least for simple tasks like applying for places, and it seems like I can focus for like 30 to 45 minutes before my brain starts wandering again. I mean, I'm sure there are times in the midst of that 30-minute period where it deviates every once in a while and it just starts doing its own thing and it goes back to the task at hand. But I think I sat down for a good 30 to 45 minutes before I actually got up to, like, I don't know, get some more coffee or start making breakfast and whatnot, and just wandering around and kind of letting my head wander because it loves wandering. So I mean that was nice and whatnot. So I may start implementing the Pomodoro technique to keep track of a metric system and a logging. I can call it a logging system to see how productive I am within 30-minute time chunks and whatnot. And then maybe I'll do hour-minute time chunks, and then further and further. It's to start building that focus muscle, right? Focusing on one thing. And then, I guess part of my brain wanted to look at other things at the same time. I mean, I threw on a random video while I was working, and it actually surprisingly helped me focus by having some guy chatting about, like, random spiritual things, because I'm trying to be more positive, and spirituality is a good way to keep your mind in a good state. So that focus thing, and I think I know I'm eating pretty healthier. I'm eating healthier. I think as of now the lethargy is not from. I don't think it's from a deficiency of anything or macro or micronutrients. But I was also thinking that I should probably get some fish oil anyways, and I'm getting olive oil from the grocery store today. And I should probably get some kind of multivitamin just to make sure I'm checking all the boxes. I don't have wheat. I usually don't eat wheat. I know the wheat, people say that wheat is good, but it's not as that'll just be another thing in my grocery list that's going to start complicating things a lot more, and then I might have to start. I mean, like, I was also thinking about getting a second bag because as of now I have my backpack in my bag, and some days I have too much, and I have to hold one thing on my other hand while I have a bunch of other stuff in my hand or my bag. So I think I'm gonna get 2 bags, and so I can avoid not having to use a shopping cart, because I don't know. It's also kind of weird because they have security guards and whatnot in these stores, and they think I'm being a little bit suspicious by putting it back to make it seem like, I don't know, they have the security cameras, like, if they want to if they want to make me seem, if they see me as a suspect, they can always check the security cameras. So, you know, I'm not doing anything suspicious. I just have 2 bags and I'm putting shit in my bag to pay over at the either the cashier or the self checkout. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So focus. So I'm satisfying most of the health requirements to maintain my focus pretty well. I mean, like I'm not having issues. I feel much better than I did last month and the month before that. Well, that was because I need to cut down on sugars more. I do need to cut down on sugars, unless it was sugars from like, you know, carbs are fine. Of course, every once in a while, carbs are a necessity to some extent. Which I get my carbs from bagels every once in a while. I don't know if I should be. I don't know. I feel good as of now. All I can say is I feel good, and once I get a job, I can go to a physician and get a blood test to see if I'm like missing any kind of necessities for my diet as of now. Maybe that'll explain me being tired every once in a while. I don't know. I think I sleep pretty well though. I feel pretty good waking up. I think it's just the fact that my brain is constantly running. It's literally just the fact that my brain is like, it runs so much that the back of my head and my forehead gets warm. I literally can't stop it from running. I've tried meditating. And it's not a bad thing per se, but it is annoying that, you know, due to the fact that it's constantly running, where I have to do tasks where it actually causes me to actually have some kind of either a higher amount of cognitive demand or focus. My brain's already tired, right? It's already lethargic. I feel a little bit tired as of now, but it's still fine. So I don't know how to. I guess I'll just keep meditating. I do meditate every day for about 10 minutes, and I just sit with my head, and I don't go into my thoughts either. It's just all coming from my unconscious. And I think it's just due to the fact that there's just a lot of stuff going on in my life as of now. Like I've said before, is that there are a lot of new stimuli, and my life is changing rapidly. Like a lot more than I was expecting for this time chunk. Well, once I started making these videos, things started ramping up quite a bit. So that's good, I guess. Yeah, so the focus thing, I think those are the 2 biggest things. And my environment is like, it's a little bit messy. I could organize my environment a little bit more. And I also have my notepad to get my thoughts out of my head. And every once in a while, if I keep wandering, you know, like these thoughts that come into my head while I'm focusing, I can write them down and maybe talk about them later. So I always have my notepad with me when I'm doing a task or if I have to apply to more places and whatnot. Let's see if I have any more notes about focus. I wrote, of course, I had to write an equation about focus and whatnot. Like calculus is cool, so I was like, F is equal to the integral of D, as in like the density of focus, or you can think of focus per unit time times that change of time, right? So it's like integral over that time interval. I just felt like, because it's I like mathematicizing everything. Is that a word? I don't know. I like abstractions, so it's fun just doing that sometimes. Yeah, they don't have to. Like, it's not really that useful, other than the fact that I guess, you know, there are ways in which I can increase that focus per unit time, right? There are ways in which I can do that, and the best way is just to practice that, using that muscle of focusing on one thing and not letting your thoughts get in the way. And so that's meditating, and then doing one thing. That's literally, I think those are like the 2 things, the main things. Of course, you know, diet and physiological things to focus on keep your mind focused, and your environment and all the other basic necessities, and getting your thoughts out of your head to slowly get those thoughts that are, at least with me, I tend to, they keep coming, they cycle in my head, and they keep coming back into my consciousness. So yeah, and I guess I can work on my environment more. I mean, like, my environment's not bad. I don't have a lot of things. I have my phone sometimes on the side. I have my notebook right in front of me, and like I don't have any toys to play with or anything like that. So I don't really get distracted. I mean, like, my computer environment's also pretty fine. Sometimes I have too many tabs open, like if I get on YouTube or Reddit. But sometimes I don't know. I'm sure there are ways in which I can maximize that, but that could be left for another part of my life, because right now I don't need that much focus. I could, because I know my brain has a lot of potential. Oh yeah, I guess I was talking about checking out the gym during rush hour, because I get a decent amount of exercise, but I also still, like I said, don't know, like the gym that I'm thinking about going to is it's in a neighborhood that's it's kind of gray. I don't know. It's dreary and monotone. It's not. There's no color. If that kind of makes sense. There's not much variety when it comes to cultural norms and whatnot. So it's kind of just like one race and ethnicity in one area, and it's kind of boring. So I'm gonna probably run into a lot of normal people over there. I don't know. Probably. I'll still go anyways because it's not to. It's to practice. Connecting with people. Or trying to and just being acceptable enough in their presence. Yeah, so downtown shenanigans, I guess. I was thinking about doing some stuff more downtown stuff just to keep my schedule occupied. Um, yeah, again, I was talking about how to focus more. I was keeping track of like a timer, the Pomodoro technique that people always talk about, and I don't know. They have all these books about focus and flow and whatnot. And it seems pretty like it seems like common sense to me. Like you can just use a logical abstraction. The root of it's obviously that formula I was talking about, and there are ways to maximize it by looking as a logical framework, and that's how it works. And I don't have to read a book for that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it would be a waste of time to get like Cal Newport's flow and whatnot, and people always like. It just seems like a waste of time for me, at least. Yeah. So read more, I guess. I mean, just focusing on one task, and I think I should probably read more, just due to the fact that it'll just help out with processing speed. Learning new words if I need them. I mean, my vocabulary is fairly rich, so. But just making sure my brain doesn't atrophy and use it, that decoder in my head more often. It doesn't hurt because if you, what's it called? Oh yeah, use it or lose it. You see, my recall mechanism's really bad sometimes. But I'm just having trouble focusing as of now, which is why I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah. Study and reflect on your focus. I don't know what that means, but just looking at ways in which I can improve it and kind of reflecting that task, that session in which I had to focus more than usual. Clearing mind, of course. I'm just looking at all the notes that I was writing down. And being more specific about tasks is actually it's a good idea. Sort of. I mean, I don't have to as of now because my task system that I'm using isn't very specific other than apply for places, and it's a whole slew of preferences, so it's not really one exact thing. I guess I can work on one domain and focus on the next when it comes to my preferences. Maybe that would work out. I don't know. Possibly it will put me in the right mindset to then increase my because I have a certain amount of RAM, and by putting myself in that mindset of that domain of a job, then I can actually apply and use that RAM to then kind of increase the speed in which I'm. Yeah, I mean, I should probably be more specific about the domains that I'm applying for. So I guess maybe one day I should be applying for one domain, and the next I should be applying for let's just say as an instance, my preference is libraries. Okay, let me look for libraries. But the thing is, when you start thinking about libraries, you think about what kind of job descriptions you'd be satisfying in that domain, and that's going to be in your RAM, and then you're going to be thinking about that as you're applying, while also filling out, looking at I don't know. It just makes sense. What was I writing down here? I have no idea. Oh, cues and patterns to get you, and I guess I do that. I already do that actually when it comes to applying. I have my coffee in the morning, and I just look at Gmail. Like I said before, it kind of gets me in that pattern of applying to jobs and whatnot. Capturing distracting thoughts, I've already talked about. I have this whole list of things that I just started writing down. Oh, I guess I was also thinking about my current state I'm in. My state I was in when I was actually pretty much until I started changing things is that I was stuck in the user agreement phase of life. That's what it felt like, really, because I was questioning everything. And I couldn't click on the agreement. I could not move on from the agreement phase because I didn't click on that checkbox that says, yes, I have read the user agreement and wish to continue. But now I have read through the user agreement and I am continuing with my life now. Uh, and I was also thinking about like reintegration of society as usual, minimizing negative thoughts, which I have been doing. I don't really feel that negative as of now, and I've been feeling a lot more. I've been more in tune with my body, and I have more positive thoughts. Like I said yesterday, I was feeling pretty good. So I've been feeling good and neutral. Of course, I'm going to go back to negative feelings and emotions that I need to process, but at least I have the tools to properly deal with them to then get into a more higher variety of emotions that I never thought I could feel. I've been feeling more alive, I guess, and by feeling more alive, I've been accessing these. I've been accessing the full spectrum of emotions, if that makes sense. So reintegration of society, that part has been satisfied almost. So I've been working on that a lot more, and I guess I was also asking like, am I afraid of something? Is there something holding me back, or maybe there's some kind of subconscious fear of something? And my subconscious fear, I guess, has always been performance anxiety, but I've also been working on that. I've been challenging my thoughts more. Like I could give an instance of like, when I was in the library and even the post office, I really didn't want to go there. I was also like, just like, because it was new, it's all new to me, and I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to look stupid by asking a dumb question, or I didn't want to seem confused, and then people would laugh at me and all this stuff. And I challenged those thoughts, and I was like, okay, well, who cares, right? Well, who cares? I've been saying whatever more, and that's been working, I guess. And, and I've been thinking about life as a game, and like, there's no point in having those thoughts, right? So just challenging them more often and whatnot. So I've been working on that. So feeling the fear and doing it anyways, right? I think I've surpassed the dark night of the soul that people, I guess, would probably call that, because I was feeling a lot of pain. I can't say I feel pain now. Last time I felt pain was, well, okay, I guess like minor pain is like fear, I guess. But, my cognitive dissonance and my thoughts, kind of challenging my thoughts about certain things that I didn't challenge before. So, yeah. So things are looking a lot better. So, wow, I've been going on for a while because I had so many thoughts yesterday. I could go deeper into all those, but I think I'm just going to keep it at a surface level until maybe later. I don't know. Just too many thoughts. So I guess I was talking about my driver's license as well. I think I'm going to have to get that because I was looking at, a new domain that I decided to look at is the city website and whatnot, and you need a driver's license, unfortunately. So I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm going to go to the DMV and see what I can do. And I'll figure it out, because I've been figuring everything out ever since now, or until now. So I'm just going to trust myself. What else can I do, right? I'm not going to think too hard about it either, because me thinking too hard has always caused too many problems in my life. I've been doing a lot more. But yeah, so I'm going to be talking to the career counselor as well, and that's cool and all. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The same old. What's going to happen the next 2 days from now, Thursday and Friday. I have my interview tomorrow, which I still have to find an iron. I may talk to Carrie and see if she can help me iron my clothes and whatnot. So I may do that tomorrow or the day or today. But man, I don't want to burn myself out here, because yeah. Anyways, I really don't want to. I don't know. I'm gonna go over there anyways. I know, my thoughts are, again, they're kind of like doubting going over there, but I'm still gonna do it, even though I don't know what my heart is saying, really. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm just mainly doing it out of curiosity. Maybe I may not even worry about ironing my clothing. I don't know. Yeah. So what else? I think that's it for now. Yeah. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye.